What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, this is season 6, episode 14, Tossing Salads and Spilling Tea. Bags, okay? Girl, let me just put this out here. I feel some type of way. Y'all know I record on the commercial break. So basically when I be talking about stuff, I haven't even got to the end of the commercial end of the episode by the time, I start talking about it, whatever. But this first part, the episodes pick up at last week. And I know some people probably felt I went a little soft on Candace last week. But let me tell you this, okay? Y'all know I call it like I see it, and this is my opinion. Candace got a mouth on her, okay? And I just wonder, if you singing all this stuff, can you back that shit up, okay? If it comes time to need to get into a situation, because Candace, your mouth will get you in some shit, okay? But yes, even though we know that, because, you say a lot of, it can be vow, it can be a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying? And even with that, in this situation, I'm not necessarily mad at what she said to Mia. I'm not. And I'm not even finna sit here and try to satisfy whatever else y'all got going on, whoever don't like it or whatever. This is my opinion. And y'all know, I'm not a hater of Candace. Candace hasn't done anything to me this season so far. And I'm not necessarily a fan of hers either. And y'all already know that. I'm going to call it how I see it. And I'm putting myself in the position as well. And you can say whatever you want. My whole thing of it is, you can't start shit and then try to dictate the way that it's supposed to go in the level of insults that's supposed to happen. I'm just saying, okay? So basically, me and Candace was both pushing each other buttons, and y'all both going back and forth. And when we get into it, we getting into it to hurt each other's feelings. When we throwing insults, we hurting each other's feelings. It's fuck your family. I don't care about your mama. I don't care about your kids. They can all get it, okay? That's the school of where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And so when the whole thing happened with Candace coming for her mama and saying your mama is low budget, do I think that was weak? It was weak, because I'm like, girl, you could have came up with something else, but I wasn't necessarily mad at it. You hit me at a soft spot with about my video shoot that I put my money in, okay, just because it wasn't as fancy as you wanted it to be. And so therefore I'm gonna hit you at a soft spot that I don't really know is a soft spot, but everybody don't want nobody. Everybody know, people feel away when you say something about their mama. So that's probably the first thing that came to Candace's mind. I was like, okay, cool. Candace, you keep saying the yo mama joke, the big feet joke and all this stuff, and it's getting tired. That's my only issue about the whole thing. Come up with something else. The pimp, the hoe. Okay, what else do you got? You're not a good reader in this situation, and I don't like it, okay? That's the only part I don't like. But other than that, I ain't see nothing wrong with it. Call me what you want. I ain't seen nothing wrong with it, because if I'm going back and forth with your ass and you started that shit and you hurt my feelings, bitch, the next shit that's coming out of my mouth is gonna hurt your feelings, all right? And you better be able to take it. And if you can't, that ain't my problem. That's how I see it. Okay? You started the shit. So now I'm going to finish this shit. And I don't care what the hell is going on in your life. All right? So, hey, it is what it is. I'm just saying, that's just how I am. That's the Capricorn in me. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you 10 times harder. I don't give a fuck. Okay? So don't ever try it. I'm going to make you hurt. Okay? Literally, that's what it is. And my whole thing is that... It was one particular scene when they was going back and forth, finished with the salad. And then, Candy, you knocking shit over. I said, now she done already threw the salad, bitch. You ain't have to knock them figurines over. That ain't even your house, okay? That's one. That ain't even your house. And then y'all fucking up the food that the chef didn't prepare. Okay, that was a green, healthy looking salad, all right? I'm still mad about it. And then you knocking over figurines and shit that ain't yours, okay? And I'm sitting here like, what did they have to do with it? It all just reminded me of that episode of Living Singles when they went back to the past, when Max used to live with them and Regina Max was in the fight, and then Khadijah found out that her that glass giraffe or whatever that her grandma gave her, and she was like, my glass giraffe from grandma. Damn. That's what it reminded me of. That's all I kept on thinking when I seen the little flamingo or whatever the fuck it was just going across the counter. Okay? Meanwhile, you got Karen and them trying to tell her, you don't know her life. And bitch, I would have said the same thing as Candace. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You come at me, I'm coming at you. That's what it is. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Oh well. I'm not here to give you the opinion or what it is that you think that you want to hear from me. I'm giving you how I feel because I'm putting myself in that situation. Moving on from that. So then Mia walks out. She tried to come back in and say, "Do you know my mother? My mother is this bitch." Don't nobody care. And I'm sorry because I do like your story with your mother or whatever. It's fucked up. Now, the only time I would have felt some differently about this is if Candace 100% knew everything that was going on with her mother and she used that shit as a low blow. Then I'd be more so on me inside and say, now see, bitch, you step in the line. But at this point in time, Candace didn't really know what was going on with her mama. So how can she be, oh, that's low. Fuck that. Okay? Fuck that. You knew that your mama was going through some stuff or whatever. You brought her ass on this show and using her as a storyline, and you up there crying with Karen. If my mom relapses and she telling me this and you telling me that, if your mom relapses, it's not gonna be because of Candace, okay? If your mom relapsed because of this show, it's because you brought her on this show and you're using her as a storyline. If you cared that much about her sobriety, you probably wouldn't have brought her on the show. That's all I'm saying on that. All right. Chris had to come up in there and get Candace, and Candace going off. I said, but when Mia calls her little chihuahua, because if that little chihuahua, I said, girl, yeah, but your mama's strong enough than that. She ain't finna let this little shit that she don't know, and I'm pretty sure people on Twitter saying a hell of a lot more stuff or whatever, but, no, all right. And I don't like the way they trying to spin it. You got Karen sitting there talking, and I understand it because they know her story. But again, you get into a group with a group of women or whatever, and you start some stuff or whatever, you have to be able to take what comes at you, okay? Mia, you started this. You started this when you said the stuff about her, you insulted her video shoot, and you knew you were. When the scholar was telling her, I think she was feeling hurt when you said that her video shoot, whatever, was low budget. Well, if that what it was, because it is low budget. I mean, we all started at low budget and then we built up. I mean, I started my business I said, don't try to flip it because you wasn't using it as a positive thing or whatever. You was being negative. That's what it was. You was being condescending. You was being rude and all of that stuff. So let's stop. That's what I hate about Mia. If you say it, own that shit. Okay. You said that shit to be rude. You said it to be nasty. It was a dig. That's what it was. You're trying to flip it to make yourself a victim by putting your mom in there or whatever. Say whatever you want about me, but you can not say nothing about my mom. And if my mom relapsed because of this little chihuahua, no, you shouldn't have brought her on the show. You seen how this stuff goes, okay? You seen how this stuff goes, all right? You got Karen. She don't bring her kids on the show, okay? She don't bring her kids on the show. She don't talk about them or whatever, all right? To make anything or whatever. But if you saw, and you can't tell me that you didn't sit down and you didn't see previous seasons with this girl and know how her mouth is, okay? Bitch, before I get on the show, I'm gonna do my research, okay? And I'm gonna be prepared just in case this one wanna come for me. Oh, I can say this, and that, and I can be prepared for them to try to say some vile ass shit to me, and I'm gonna have thick skin, and I'm gonna come at her with something else that's gonna hurt her even worse, okay? That's how I feel about it, Chris up there trying to talk to Candace. Candace, you up there bucking up like you was finna do what? Candace, we already know what you do. You ain't gonna do nothing. You talk a lot of shit. But baby, you ain't finna throw them hands. You ain't finna do nothing. You ain't finna, girl, whatever. And I get it. You mad because she come at you when they trying to make it feel like you not supposed to say nothing and all this shit. And like Chris said, you should be able, you don't have to respond to everything. Because truth be told, Candace didn't have to respond that way. I'm just going to put it out there. Candace did not have to respond the way that she did, and this could have been a whole other situation. She could have ignored Mia, but you knew that she wasn't. So therefore, that's why we're here, okay? And that's what Chris was trying to tell her. Somebody got to be the bit of person, know when not to respond to stuff because you don't have to respond to everything. And, she's sitting out there. I said, bitch, you did all of that, and you going to sit your ass out there and cry. Man, you did all that and you gonna sit up in there and cry. Ain't no tears, okay? Y'all meant what y'all said to each other and stand in it. And then Chris want her to go back up in there and apologize, so we won't have no disrespect. Don't disrespect me, I won't disrespect you. Girl. Gordon just there, okay? But I get both sides. I get why both of them feel the same way, okay? Feel the way. But I'm just putting in how I feel. And I get how people can look at it and say, Candace did the most, okay? In truth be told, she did. She did, okay? But let's not make Mia a victim, because she's not, okay? She's not. But at the same time, I just don't see what 100%. I'm not 100% mad at Candace for saying or doing what she did, okay? I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm really not. Okay, y'all can come at me or whatever and say, well, this and this. I don't care. It's my opinion. It is what it is. I'm not going to debate you on yours. And another thing, a scholar had to ask Mia, why the hell you keep on bringing up money? Is it because you didn't have it? No, it's because I worked so hard to get it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you ain't got to know. We can see. I'm sorry, I'm chewing gum right now. I'm sorry. Somebody gonna say, "Oh my God, why you doing that?" We know, okay. But you still flaunting it, and I still feel like it's what a scholar said, because you came from nothing and now you're something, and you want people to know that you're no longer nothing, and that's why you keep on mentioning money, because you was like, "I have $450,000." Okay, we can ask that. That's not what it is in this situation, okay? Like, come on, stop that. We don't have to do that. Like, we got on Wendy's ass last season about her degrees. Okay, we got degrees too. All right, and the ladies that you kicking it with, they got money too. Okay, various amounts of it. All right, so we don't need to keep on bringing up how much we got and all this stuff or whatever. It's cool. We know that you made or whatever. It is what it is. So Mia is okay. All right. Karen was asking if she good. And let me just put this out here. Regardless of what I said, both of them were wrong. Okay. Candace was wrong. Well, no. Mia was wrong. Candace was wrong. Okay. Because like we're saying, and everybody say, we're grown, we're grown, we're grown. None of them and neither one of them should have let it get to the point that they let it get. Okay. Like Chris said, somebody should have just shut the fuck up and walked away. But of course we knew that that wasn't going to happen, because it wouldn't be Real Housewives if we did. Okay. And it wouldn't be Candace and it wouldn't be Mia, because people just don't know how to back down. And I understand you got two strong personalities going against each other, and that's what we're looking at. We don't look at these shows to see them just sit there and not do nothing. We want to see the back and forth, and they gave it to us. So I'm not mad at neither one of them, but hey, it is what it is, because they gave me the entertainment that I wanted to see. Moving on from that, Mia, your ass wasn't ever going nowhere anyway. Okay. No, I'm good. I'm good, because if I felt like I wanted to stay, I stay. But, my husband, he want to stay, so I'm going to stay or whatever. So that's what's going on with that. Bitch, Gordon. Gordon got to be one of the best husbands right now, because that man, when I tell you, he is nonchalant to the bud. Like, he is so drunk. They out there in the foyer or whatever talking to Mia and Karen. And he was out. Why you gotta look so good, girl? Why you gotta look so good? I said, no, we're not doing that. Girl, Ray, Kim was like, I'm telling Ray that you was licking your tongue out at me, and he did it again. She was like, see, I gotta go. Meanwhile, Candace ass up in there, girl, she crying. We already knew that was gonna happen. We trying to touch up her makeup and all that stuff because she up there crying. Girl, I just don't understand. Like, do y'all get into it with people and then y'all cry afterwards? Like, I understand angry tears, but, because somebody just pissed me off. But every single time? Anyway, moving on from that. Chris go up in there cleaning up the lettuce off the floor. Truth be told, I would have left that shit on the floor, okay? Because I'm pissed. But he a better man than I am, because I'm not one. But he a better person than I am, because I'm petty like that. But Chris did the right thing, because nobody else took the initiative to go up in there. And truth be told, the situation, the reason why I was there was because his wife and the other girl. And so, Ashley come through there. He gonna sweep it up, but he gonna have something to say. Man, I ain't even put this shit on the floor. Got me up in here doing this stuff. And then Ashley just walked past like, oh, that's nice. Okay. She go to the refrigerator, and she opens it up, and Chris was like, hey, Ashley, I just want to say, even though you and my wife don't get along, and sometimes me and your husband ain't on the same page, I just want to congratulate you, and about your second addition to the house with the baby, and pregnancy look good on you. I still follow you on Instagram and everything. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. They had a little, it was an awkward exchange, okay, because it was almost as if Ashley didn't know whether or not she wanted to be 100% nice to him and acknowledge him, or to just, be cordial. And, she was somewhere in the middle of it. It was a little awkwardness, but hey, it is what it is. Like they said, the men don't have issues with the women most of the time. It just be the women having issues with the women, and the men just stay out of it. Now, see, it's different with Chris and Michael because Chris and Michael had their back together, and y'all saw when they went at each other last season. Okay, moving on from that. Truth be told, Michael shouldn't be on the show, but hey, with all the allegations and stuff that came out against him, I don't care if they was proving this or proving that. He still shouldn't. You shouldn't have these allegations coming against you like that. Moving on from that, Ashley, they all up in Ashley room. They going to find the rooms and stuff like that. And Karen talking about something. Damn, I just came up in the house and I'm seeing salad tossing this and salad tossing that. And she was like, for all this, I could have stayed at home and tossed my own salad. And they was like, you do know that that means something else too. And she was like, girl, what? What you talking about? And she was like, I think Wendy said, licking butt, girl, licking butt. Ooh, ooh. No, I don't do that. Let me get up out of here. I don't do that. I said, nah, Karen. You fuck a vibrating pillow yourself, okay? You done told us. And you mean to tell me Uncle Ray ain't licked your ass a time or two in the 20 plus years that you've been married? That's a lie, okay? That's a lie. Baby, you know Raymond probably got stuck up in him. Let me stop. Okay, let me stop. We don't need that visual. But then again, I probably do want. No, I don't. Never mind. Take that back. But Ashley, I just want to understand why you had to bring that photo. Do y'all do shit like that? Y'all go on a trip and y'all finna be gone for a couple of days and you bring a big ass family photo. It's just bothering me. It's just bothering me. But I don't know why it's bothering me, but I think it's, I don't know. Anyway, moving on from that. She trying to call, Robin and Giselle to see if they ass is going to come out there because she feel a little weird being out there by herself since everybody else is coupled up. And they not answering they FaceTime or whatever. But of course, they on their way over there. They pull up to the house. Okay, I said Bravo told y'all asses to get on in unless y'all ain't gonna get paid. Okay, because you contractually obligated to show up to this trip. That's what I feel like what happened. But meanwhile, Mia was up there trying to talk to her mama and talk to her kids on a little FaceTime and shit like that. And they supposed to be getting ready. Mia said something like, when we go on a girls trip or whatever, we trying to show, we going on a trip and we trying to show people that we be cultured and educated and not with the drama and mess. Myself included. Okay, I said, all right, put yourself in there because at first I thought you was trying to shade somebody and be like, they not cultured and educated because damn near everybody in that house is. And she said, no, myself included. I said, all right, I'll give you that because y'all was acting a fool on the very first day. Okay, it ain't the whole day. Like they got there in the morning and they was just acting up. They was just acting up. See, that's what alcohol do to people. You know what I'm saying? It was looking like an episode of it was looking like The Real World. The Real World, bitch. Am I looking at the wrong TV show? Because y'all was doing a lot. Y'all was doing a lot. All right. Meanwhile, Gordon ass is knocked the fuck out. I said, y'all supposed to be getting ready for dinner or whatever. And he is just knocked out. And at one point, I was about to say, Mia, could you please push him to see if he's breathing? But then he started snoring. So I said, okay, cool. I said, Gordon... Gordon said, bitch, I'm going to make a good time no matter what, okay? I didn't really want to come here, but since I'm here, let me have a good time. And he just went on to sleep. And it's probably only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yes. What that girl named? Giselle and, what's her face? Robin, they get there. They go up to, they basically put the kids in the attic. That's all I kept on thinking about. The kids in the attic. Hey, y'all ever, I think it's a V.C. Andrew books. The kids in the attic or flowers in the attic. Baby, girl. Now, that was a whole different type of book, but you know, them kids was locked up in that attic for all that time. And they done put Giselle and Robin up in the attic. Okay, that's what it looked like. It was a room. It had 3 beds, bitch. I don't know what they was complaining about because it ain't had no bathroom. Oh, the fuck well. Here's my thing. First of all, it was a little rude. Skylar had that crab cake because she said, here, I'm going to just put it down here for the next person who really need it. I said, first of all, that's nasty, Skylar. We don't do stuff like that. We put the stuff, food and shit like that. We don't just leave it sitting around the house so, you can you trying to invite critters and stuff inside and rodents. No, we don't do that. Go put that in the refrigerator or go throw it away if you don't want it, okay? We don't want to be wasteful. Meanwhile, Giselle and Robin get there. Of course, Giselle, I didn't really want to come because, I didn't want to see Wendy's nasty, mean face. I said, bitch, yours? Girl, you be talking about yourself, okay? Anyway, and, Chris was nice enough to take her stuff up there because, her foot was messed up, so that's understandable. And he just a nice dude like that. But at the same time, they see that room and, of course, they got something to say about it. when Wendy had came up in there, well, before that, they know this wasn't no bathroom. Okay, fine. Who cares? And then, you know, of course, Ashley had to give them the lowdown before they got there. What happened? So, when they run into everybody, especially Candace, they come up in there and they're talking, and of course, Candace is relaying what happened, and oh, I threw this at her. Oh, she threw this at me. You know, she was talking about my video being low budget. I talked about her mama, whatever. Oh, we don't, which was wrong, which was wrong. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was, because, you know, even if I would have known her trauma or whatever, I wouldn't have said it. That's what Candace said. Candace said if she would have known her mother's trauma, she wouldn't have said that. A part of me thinks that that's true, and a part of me thinks that it's not. Okay? Because like I said, Candace's mouth can be real nasty and vile. And when we are getting into it with people, sometimes shit just slip and we trying to hurt, we go for the fucking jugular. So I feel like it's a 50-50 maybe that could or could not have happened. Meanwhile, you know, because she was very adamant about, yeah, we do go after people, mothers up in this group. And when I had to think about it, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and do you compare this, okay? I know Ashley didn't necessarily say yo mama to Candace, but she knew that her mother was a trigger point, and she kept on throwing it up there that her mama did this and her mama had to pay for this and you living in Dorothy house or whatever. So, I mean, it's not all the way the same as saying yo mama, but she knew that that was a trigger point. So it's somewhat the same thing for her to be like, oh, don't be saying it about her mama and you know her trick. Girl, shut up, okay? It just popped up into my head. But, you know, the whole thing about Candace trying to say, did you hear her say, oh, well, she was talking about my mama, and Giselle had to correct her. No, she was talking to your mother, okay? And I said, exactly. Now, did you get that confused, boo-boo? Let's not try to rewrite history, because Mia never said a negative thing about your mom, okay? She never did. You said your mama to her, but she never said a negative thing about your mama, all right? She was talking to your mama. She was getting the tea from your mama about you and your husband. That's what she was doing. But she never said a negative thing about Miss Dorothy, all right? And so, you know, they was like, yeah, they said that she was down there crying and all this stuff. Oh, my God, was she crying? I mean, I did when I found out that, you know, what happened to her. I kind of saw the hurt in her face. Oh, my God. I said, oh, so now you feel bad, Candace? Bitch, I must be cold-hearted, because I wouldn't feel bad for shit. I said it, bitch. Okay? But anyway, you know, sometimes you gotta realize when you wrong, so I guess. But then Wendy came up there and was like, hey y'all, oh, I didn't know that y'all was coming. So they trying to figure out where the bathroom's at. And I was like, I mean, I don't know. So Wendy, Ashley come up there, get him some shots, and Wendy leave out. They finna get ready to go to dinner. Mia had came up there, talked to him or whatever. And Robert is annoyed. Oh my God. Like, I'm finna get a hotel and go. I probably ain't gonna be able to get one, but I'm finna go because there's men in the house. I'm on my period. And if you know I'm on my period, you know I don't want to be around any nobody. I said, if you don't want to be around nobody because you on your cycle and you know how you are on your cycle or whatever, you shouldn't have came, okay? If you was gonna have this attitude. Giselle talking about some, Wendy, you failed. This is the host problem, okay? You supposed to have these accommodations ready and shit like that. And I said, excuse me, ma'am. She invited the both of y'all at the same time, and both of y'all declined her invitation. So therefore, this is a you problem, not Wendy, okay? Wendy had no idea that you was coming. She left the door open for if you do come, but this is a first come, first serve type of situation. And therefore, you got the leftover because your ass said that you wasn't coming, and you just decided to come because Bravo said, bitch, you ain't gonna get paid if you don't, okay? So therefore, you can't get mad at Wendy because you got the leftover scraps, and that room wasn't even that goddamn bad, okay? Like, come on. Come the freak on. Girl, Giselle, shut up. So, I'm sorry. Somebody gonna be like, girl, this is the second time. Okay, no, let's get into it. So they get ready to go to, you know, the dinner or whatever. They're getting in the bus or whatever. It's just so happened that Candace and Mia and Gordon all sitting by each other. Listen, at this point, I think Gordon would have been me. All right, it was a lot going on. I was up early. I had too much to drink early in the day. I'm about to sleep this off because as soon as they sat down, Gordon was knocked back out. Okay, Gordon was knocked out. You got Karen, Karen, Ashley, and Giselle, I believe, that was sitting next to each other. And, they talking about Gordon and what he did. Gordon had to let us know, he didn't meet Mia on the street corner, but he did get her out the strip club. The first time he saw her, she was a waitress. And then the next time she was out there doing her thing or whatever. And he was like, I used to just pay money just to sit and talk to her. Like, just talk to me for a couple of hours. She's like $10,000. He was like, shh. Okay, that ain't what I asked. Okay, that ain't what I was trying to say. Ashley was like, yeah, okay. Okay. But anyway, Gordon was knocked out. Karen and them back there talking about Gordon, okay? But then they get to talking about teabagging and all this stuff. And Karen said, yeah, they talking about that shit because they the one that be doing it. The only teabag that you see me doing is this tea in this cup, okay? That is what it is, all right? I said, now, if Uncle Ray would have put his shit probably a disintegrate. Let me stop. Okay, I shouldn't do that. That's ageism. Okay, but them old men, they probably can really just go. Okay, because them motherfuckers still be. Woo. I'm like, God damn, calm down. Okay, but so everybody's cool. And then when Gordon wakes up, they up there talking about, so what we gonna be doing, Gordon? He said G-O-V. Good vibes. No, it's supposed to be good vibes only, but he said G-O-V, so it's good only vibes. And then here come Mia. Good old vagina. And then I said, huh? Huh? Robin had to let everybody know that she was on her period. Okay, and then Gordon said LDTBH. Long dick to the half. I said, oh. All right. And then Candace was like, okay, I could get with that. And they fist bump. I said, okay, so the mood is getting a little lighter. Okay, so that's fine. Cool. They get to the restaurant, and they sit everybody with where they want to be seated at. And then you got these group of white men that's over there, whatever. It's a group of white ladies over there. And I said, oh, okay, now we getting other people in the shot because we normally don't do this like this, okay? Wendy trying to get everybody's attention to calm down, whatever, so she can make her little speech. Gordon, he do the little whistle, okay? And, the whole restaurant kind of got quiet. And everybody looking like, what? The white boys over there, they just wanted to be in the camera so bad, okay? And I don't even blame them. Bitch, if I see a camera, I'm going to be... All right, and so Wendy give a speech about having everybody there, and she hope everybody have fun or whatever. And so they go ahead and they get in their liquor. Ashley up there talking about, Giselle, you see these white boy, that white boy up in the vest, he look good or whatever. She was like, I mean, he cute or whatever, he's cute, okay, whatever, cool. Because she only came there with her luggage, so she ain't got nobody else, And everybody is having a good time. They're taking drink orders, they taking dinner orders. Gordon asks, no, I think Karen asked Ashley, did she get to speak to her husband or whatever and her kids? And she said, yeah, he actually took the kids to work, and, the secretary or somebody was there watching them, and Gordon gonna say something, did she breastfeed? And I was like, wait a minute, Gordon? And she was like, no, she's not a wet nurse. Next thing you know, Mia kissing on Gordon, and she was like, I was just getting tired of not showing you any PDA. And he was like, what? PDA? What's that? Public displays of affection. And he was like, oh, okay. He just turned on around. I said, girl, Gordon is just not here for it right now, okay? I'm just going to accept the fact that Gordon, this ain't Gordon. This is drunk Gordon, okay? And he phasing in and out. That's all that it is, all right? And so at this point, Robin, she in her feelings about stuff, she, because her period is on, she miserable, she looking for a hotel. I'm like, girl, take your ass home, okay? Because you're getting on my goddamn nerves, okay? They talking about the bathroom because Giselle got the boot on her feet. Once the fucking again, if you was a nice bitch, somebody probably would have given up their room for you so you can have a bathroom to walk to, and you did say that you wasn't gonna come, so that's on your ass. Meanwhile, some shots get sent to the table from the dudes, the white guys behind them. And they was like, the Karen's like, these girls don't need no more shots, okay? And they was like, thank you, GVO. And then all of a sudden, the table with the white ladies was like, what about your wives, okay? I said, wait a minute. Why y'all separated like that? Who idea was this? We gonna have a girls' night and a boys' night, but we just gonna separate them on the same night. What? The wives is over here and the husbands is over here. What's going on? I said, oh, y'all really trying to be on camera. I get it. So, after we find out that the men's were married, that was crazy and that was bold. You are a married man and you sending shots to other women that are literally sitting down there with their men, but you won't send a shot to your women. Girl, okay. I said, what's trying to move y'all trying to pull? And you know, Wendy said, y'all they husband, that's your husband. Girl, Miss Waitress, send them some shots, whatever it is that they want, okay? Kimmy had to get up and tell them, listen, you don't do that. I'm getting remarried to my husband 25 years in a couple of weeks. And no, you want to be in a long lasting relationship, you go get her some shots and you go get her some, you gonna get her a gift, Yves Saint Laurent, okay? Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, get us something, okay? Because you got to make up for this. And I said, that's right. That's freaking right. Now, usually I ain't here for that material shit, but give them something because that was rude. That was rude. I don't know what it was. It was a little tacky. It was a little tacky, you know? But then they get to sit down and all hell starts to break loose again, okay? Everybody was cool for a second. GVO, 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 okay? And that's the, Ashley breaks up the shit by wanting to ask, what did Chris think about what happened the night before and or early today, whatever the fuck it was, the argument that happened earlier, okay? And how did he feel about it and breaking it up, or did he feel the need to break it up? And I'm sitting here like oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here like, Ashley, this is what she do, okay? And it annoys me because I'm understanding that this is what she's on this show for at this particular moment to do, to stir up stuff. It could be quiet, it could be having a good time, and then here she comes bringing up shit that we don't need to talk about, that we already can foresee that is going to start a trouble, okay? Things are still kind of heated. And not only that, there's liquor involved. Every time there's liquor involved, something always happens. And we have to admit that, okay? And liquor brings out true fucking feelings. I don't care what nobody says, all right? And people's mouths get to fucking going. And it made me so mad because at the end of this episode, I was agreeing with Giselle and them about Candace, okay? Because Candace, even though I said I understood why you snapped off or whatever you said with me or whatever, we all can agree that your mouth is foul as shit. Your mouth is just too fucking much sometimes, okay? We can agree that, and you said that if you didn't know that, you hadn't known about her mama, you wouldn't have said what you said. Okay, fine. I'll give you that for the moment, okay? Even though I halfway believe it. I'll just let that go. But at the same damn time, sometimes you just do go over the fuck board when you don't have to, and that is what Chris is talking about. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person, and she don't know how to do that, okay? And one day she gonna get into something that her motherfucking mouth is not gonna let her get out of, all right? And I ain't talking about a situation like Monique, because Monique, she went easy on her ass, okay? That was messed up. And that, I said not like that because that shit wasn't warranted. What Monique did to her wasn't warranted, okay? It was not. And anybody that still feel that, no, it was not. And I'm not even a Candace fan like that, but that shit was not warranted at all. Nobody deserves to get their ass beat for what, okay? And my whole thing of it is, Ashley, you could have just sat there and talked about something else, talked about your kids or whatever, but you want to bring up shit that we seem to have put to the side for the moment at a freaking dinner table in public, okay? And Chris was like, yeah, I pulled to the side, I hollered at her, whatever. I didn't like it because he don't like being put in those situations. And out of respect for your husband, you would think that you would understand where he's coming from and not act the ass Candace, okay? And I get it. She was trying to be cool, calm, and collected because some of the shit Ashley was saying when Chris and Ashley was talking, she was panning dust, okay? She was quiet, she was drinking her drink, eating her scrimps, and all of that. But then it got to a point where, she just couldn't hold that shit in no more. And I just would have paid that bitch dust. You don't have to say shit to everybody. Truth be told, she ain't have to say shit to Mia either, okay? But I get it. But at this particular moment, fuck that bitch, because you already know how she is too. And you don't like her. We already know the history between y'all. You just don't like her, and I get it. I get it. But you allow all of that to take over and to just act a little ass. And Ashley, you ain't fucking exempt from this shit either, okay? Because you asking, questions about this, and, Chris is basically saying he just wants to get to a place that he's at with Gordon. Like, Candace and Mia got into it. The men, they didn't have no problem with each other. He want to get to a place like that with Michael. But, Michael has a problem with him. Well, that's because of what your wife said. Okay, fine, that's my wife, but I didn't say nothing to him, and that don't mean that I condone what she says or whatever. But I never said anything about him. Oh, yes, you have. You made digs at him. No, I didn't. Calling him out about his history and his pattern of how he is disrespectful to women, that's not talking shit about him. That's just calling out said behavior. That's all it is, okay? What Michael is doing to Chris, calling him white trash and all this other stuff and talking about a failed restaurant. Bitch, you had a failed restaurant as well, okay? Where that Aussie shit at? And no offense, because it was an Australian Aussie restaurant, right? Where is that? Where Oz? It got lifted up in the goddamn tornado and it went back, okay? It went back with Dorothy, all right? That's what it is, okay? Wizard of Oz just took it on off with the munchkins, okay? So you up here talking about that, and it just made me mad with Ashley. You trying to make it seem as if your husband is somewhat a good guy, and he's not. Okay, people don't come after Michael because for no reason. All right, Michael be coming after that man, and he was talking down on Chris, and Chris is better than most people because he's still trying to make that shit work or whatever. He want to get to a good place with that man, but yet you can't. And then, you know, she was like, well, you called me this and yeah. And Candace interjected, and I feel as though Candace should have just been quiet at that point. But then, of course, Candace had to come in and was like, well, you know, your husband said a lot of shit or whatever. And then Ashley had to say, well, like you called him a slave owner or whatever, because they had to show the tweet that she called him an overseer, and that's basically the same thing. So what, am I his slave? And at first Candace said, no, I ain't say that. But then she said, yup. What the fuck, Candace? Okay, I said, man, you know, the two interracial couples is going at each other. Both y'all got white husbands, so what is going on? I mean, Candace, we can say the same thing about, I ain't gonna say that because we could, but we ain't. All right, see how we did that? We could just keep our mouth closed. They going back and forth about what was being said, and oh, you ain't got a right to say this, and then Ashley bringing up the fact that you know, Candace up there telling people not to put their fingers up in their face or whatever because she was in the same situation last year and she know how to deal with it and all this stuff. Woo woo woo. And it's like you're being hypocritical because that's the same thing that Monique told her or whatever. So now you telling that to Mia, and it's like, I see where Ashley coming from, but it escalated from there. And at one point, you know, she said something to Mia. She was like, you could, no, not Mia, but she told Ashley, you could suck my dick. Okay. She was like, you ain't got no dick. You probably got a very big click, but you ain't got no dick or whatever, something like that. And then she was like, you and your friend, that's for your friend over there. And I guess she was talking about Mia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Next thing you know, Chris is trying to smooth this shit out. Because at this point, Candace is getting real pissed off at Ashley. Like, why are you talking to me? Why are you bringing this up? You was part of the reason this happened and this and that and that and that and that and that and that. And I said, I know you're not trying to blame Ashley for the shit that happened between you and Monique. No, okay, she talking about the legal stuff. All right, I said clear that shit up because legally I can understand you being frustrated that she want to put that statement out or whatever, but the actual brawl or whatever, no, that she ain't had shit to do with that. That was between y'all two, okay? But you know, mostly Monique, but it was a mess. And at this point, she's getting loud with it and loud and loud. And I was like, oh my goodness, like calm that shit down. Chris trying to get her up out of there. She don't want to go nowhere. And I'm like, is y'all about to fight or something? Like, it just looked real embarrassing. You embarrassing your husband. You embarrassing yourself. Chris had to leave. And Andre had to go out there and talk to him. And, you know, she had to go talk to him or whatever. She calling Mia a benefactor and all, Gordon her benefactor and shit. She's still going at Mia. And I'm just like, some people just don't never learn. Some people just never freaking learn, okay? And the food's still coming out. The food is still coming out. I'm just like, Candace, I get it. And this is why people have a hard time wanting to be on Candace's side 100% of the time. And this is why some of her stands feel like people hate her. I don't hate her, but I'm going to call out behavior that is not right, okay? You're doing too much. Like, I get what you did at the beginning. I get that, okay? But at this particular moment, your husband is trying to calm you down and he was having control of the situation and you had to just up it up, okay? It was just too much. It was too much. And Ashley, bitch, you started this shit. And then you up there sitting there with Giselle and them, and they talk about something she just don't know. And she contributed to what happened. And it's like all the stuff that happened last year, it's like a spit in the face because you haven't learned. You haven't learned. And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. But at the same time, Ashley, you brought this shit up. You knew exactly what the fuck you was doing. But that was Real Housewives of Potomac. Girl, this review long. I don't care. I'm not editing. Y'all, I see y'all later. Peace. And please be respectful to one another because I know people going to have various opinions or whatever. But hey, it is what it is, okay? Everybody's entitled and allowed to. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.